I am unusually tired today for reasons, and yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna do how I'm gonna feel, etc. However, we got Homestuck to finish, so we're gonna put on our big boy pants, and we're gonna see what we can do. All right, okay. So when we last left off, we were still talking about feelings and shit. All right, let's get her at her. So here we have the local Vriska and Miriam speaking about life and shit. How's it going over there? I told them I'd leave them alone and go talk to some trolls. I guess this troll over here will have to do. Happy to be of service. Man, look at them. They all seem so excited, like a bunch of wigglers hopped up on high fructose grub juice. Did they really have... I guess it is just an... Yeah, okay, they'd probably have fructose, but it's amazing that they have that called fructose, but I hope they don't crash from this reunion buzz too hard before it's showtime. If they do, I am sure one of your contingency plans will swing into full effect. Maybe you can buy time for everyone to recover by lulling our adversaries into an extensive strategy session. Yeah, extensive strategy session. Hey Miriam, why don't you can it? Our sassy little games of one-upsmanship are fun and all, but I'm trying to be sincere here. You know, seeing as this is the last time I'll see you all in a while. You're right, sorry, bring on the sincerity. I was just saying about the humans. They look so happy. I mean, look at Rose, no offense, but most of the time she's kind of a pill. None taken, and me too, probably. Good point. But I don't think I've ever seen her like that, by which I mean making no discernible effort whatsoever to disguise the fact that she's happy. Well, okay, maybe there were a couple times. Is that in reference to how you like to flagrantly spy on us sometimes? I don't spy on you. That is such an unfair characterization. Would you can it with that shit already? I'll never understand your ongoing and apparently unironic use of the phrase can it. And in particular, why you always seem to direct this expression to me and seemingly no one else. I just think it is such a peculiar and amusing way to tell someone to be quiet. What? Why? No, that's a normal way of putting it. I mean, it's a pretty normal thing to say, right? When you want someone to pipe down. Pipe down isn't even much better. It's just a funny thing to say, and the fact that you don't realize it makes it funnier. I think the underlying explanation is that you are just funnier. Wait, what? Is this a typo? You are just funnier that you realize. Funnier that, well, whatever. Funnier that you realize or try to be. I think that's a typo. Anyway. It is something to like about you. I guess I'll have to accept your sass as a compliment then. And no, I don't spy on you. I just check in with you sometimes to see how you're doing. Okay, if that's how you want to put it. You involve yourself in many private matters without even offering the pretense of doing otherwise. To think that at one point I was regarded as the meddlesome one. Look, it just so happens that I care very deeply for all my friends and want to make sure they're doing all right on a somewhat regular basis. Is that a crime? In some societies, violating the privacy of others in certain ways, yes, I believe so. I understand your motives though, and really this is just me giving you a hard time. I never got why everyone treats their romantic affairs as so private. What's the big deal? So you like to do some smooching and stuff with another person. Maybe get over yourself. Karkat is the worst offender. You'd think he was charged with guarding state secrets. Newsflash, buddy. Nobody gives a fuck. It seems you very much give a fuck, though. Hey, why don't you cut me some slack? I don't hold anyone to standards I don't hold myself to. I'm very open about my relationships. My moral allegiance with Terezi, ask me anything. I have nothing to hide. We'll throw our diamonds up in your face like we're making a getaway. We don't even give a fuck. If you can't take the stench, then get out of the meal block. Same with my ashen... What? Oh, Ashen liaisons I've been involved with over the years. What's the big deal? I have to admit to being impressed with your strangely natural proficiency with auspicicism. It is an incredibly difficult quadrant to master and very emotionally taxing, I find, in a way that conflicts with the pursuit of relationships in other quadrants. I can't ignore that during our trip you probably diffused a lot of unpleasant situations before they started. And when it comes to matters of privacy and such, but when it comes to matters of privacy and such, and when forms of expression people feel at ease showing in public, pale relationships are really different, I think. What about the other kind? Seems to me you have not been involved in any, so I'm not sure you really understand. Got him. I just don't have time for anything like that in my life right now. Red and black relationships are so absorbing. I have a strong pale relationship, which is very important to me, but that's about all I can handle. Maybe later on, when the dust settles from this crazy adventure, I'll consider it. But for now, this is all I can deal with. I just have too many irons in the fire, you know? I know about all the irons. Oh, I know all about the irons. I have heard rumors of this alleged fire as well. So what are they talking about? What? All your buddies over there. We were still talking about that. It's ridiculous how easily we all get sidetracked by romantic blither. Oh, family stuff mainly. It's pretty fascinating, sociologically speaking, I mean. Their idea of families, the idea of siblings is strange enough. People who are genetically similar and grow up together. Spending all that time with Dave and Rose, you started to getting a sense of it, like the logic of it, how it must have shaped their society, but also its inherent ridiculousness. Sharing a residence with your near clone while growing up, so preposterous. But then you add the idea of parents, and suddenly it's complete madness. Our society was so individualistic, and it all seems so normal and reasonable. So I look over there and see two Lalons and a Strider, and there's a whole other Strider on the way. And a family starts striking me as not so much a social unit, so much as like an infestation. Yeah, well, I'll say an entire other Strider does sound like a bit much, on top of what is already quite a spectacle. Maybe we just don't get it. Of course we don't. That's my point. I mean, we have ancestors, but under normal circumstances, it's pretty much unheard of to imagine you'd ever get the chance to meet them. We had the unusual privilege of meeting most of ours, or at least certain versions of them. But that's still just a one person lineage. It's really simple and comprehensible. Human lineage is just a huge clusterfuck, if you ask me. There is a certain advantage to it, though. Their decentralization propaganda, or propagation, oh Jesus, propagation makes it a lot more likely that her race will persist. The same cannot be said for ours. I still often wonder if we are the last of our kind. You're still doubtful about whether you can hatch a new mother grub. Sure. You're still doubtful about whether you can. Yeah, it's just I don't know how to phrase this. You're still doubtful about whether you can hatch a new mother grub? Question mark. Yeah, more than doubtful, I'd say. You shouldn't lose faith. I'm not even the slightest bit worried about whether you can do it. When you get the chance, just brainstorm about it with the Lalons. They tend to be full of ideas. Anyway, try not to get down about it. I have a good feeling. Get down about what? A particular obligation I have yet to fulfill. I sense she possesses some intelligence on the matter. She wishes to be cagey about, so I guess that I guess that part of the conversation has been concluded. Obligation? Vriska, have you been dishing more dirt on our strategy before formally bringing our meeting back to order? Pretty sloppy leadership move, if you ask me. Karkat, it had nothing to do with your and Kanye's upcoming roles in this campaign. If it was it was a more private matter pertaining to Kanye's broader significance to the future of our people. I will be very clearly spelling out the roles you and she will be playing momentarily. Me and she, as in like together, what the fuck are we supposed to be doing together? You'll find out. Great. I'm so glad. At this point, I only ever feel angst or this. I only ever feel angst or even the slightest sense of agitation in my soul to the precise extent that I worry Vriska might not have all of our fortunes completely mapped out already. I'm beginning to hyperventilate, slightly less just thinking about it. Good to hear, Carcat. Almost as cool as it is to see you yelled yourself out with John and Dave already, and have decided to come back in some yelling time with us. Or to clock, have decided to come clock in some yelling time with us. Your ability to dig down deep, wait, to dig deep down and find and find a second wind is really quite astonishing. I shudder to think what would happen to this party if we ran out of its most precious natural resource. Ha ha ha. Burned, owned, devastated. What more is there to say? Brutal, savage, wrecked? Whatever. Nothing really. Unless you want whatever pitiful tatters of your self-image you have left to get power pissed on by God Queen Circuit herself. Yet again. Either that, or one could ruminate fondly. Ruminate? Let's just not even. Let's just go with it.
Ruminate.
Ruminate is the wording. Ruminate fondly over the heavenly ret-forked reality wherein she was stabbed in the back by her Moirail, and we all got to live out the fucking bliss that timeline must have been. Just think of the peace and quiet we would have had on the Meteor. It was probably more than worth the price of cannonballing ass first into some sort of massacre trap. Risk a circuit, making the living envy the hypothetical dead, making the living envy the hypothetical dead since whenever it was she started doing that. Excuse me. Way to stick the landing on that. Wait, barbate? What? Sure, whatever. That barb. Way to stick the landing on that, Barb, genius. I appreciate that you are just moseying over to arbitrarily drum up some utterly meaningless contention between us. But it is like I said, or it's like I've said before many times, Carcat. I'm not interested. Ouch, slaughtered again, hee hee. Don't listen to her, Kanye. It's like this running gag she does all the time to own me. What? It's this funny thing we do, or mainly she does, always implying that I've been spades crushing on her and getting shut down. It never stops being hilarious. ... First of all, as if she can prove anything. Second, if we're being totally fair here, more than a few of her snappy comebacks are arguably more tinged with that sort of eyebrow-cocking hostility than anything I've ever said to her. Maybe makes one a little suspicious, no? That maybe there's some projection going on here. Just saying. Alright, Carcat, I'm gonna leave you here to dig yourself into whatever embarrassing hole you seem intent on digging. I'm going to keep working the crowd a bit. As you know, a leader's job is never done. See ya. Bye, Felicia. Bye. Maybe try acting a little more gracious in defeat next time. Just a little advice from one leader to another. She's gone. I think you needed to come up with that comeback a little faster. Yeah, damn. I think as a friend, it would behoove me to confide somewhat about the realities of pursuing anything with her. Wait, what? Kanye, you weren't taking that pathetic, jokey, unrequited black rom stuff as seriously, were you? Let's imagine that my attitude toward the joking or non-joking status of that is perfectly neutral. While I just say these things, aside from the fact that she literally just got finished telling me she wasn't interested in any non-pale relationships, I think that would be a blind alley regardless. I admit this from experience, and not without chagrined hesitation. Oh, fuck it. Let's we're doing it. Chagrined. Yeah. Chagrined. Hesitation. But only frustration and heartbreak are down that road. Oh? She turned out to be a tremendous partner in pale relationships. Maybe even a bit freakishly so. But anything stronger than that I think would probably be disastrous. She is way too focused and self-absorbed to maintain such strong feelings for long. She would need to learn to let go of some of her ambition and figure out how to prioritize the feelings of other people. She might even figure out how to be happy. Ugh. Shudder, very specifically. Yeah, wow. A chill just ran up my posture pole. Oh, spine, okay. Oof. That's a euphemism if I've ever read one. I can't speak right now. What is I'm super tired. Fuck me. That's not a euphemism. It can be, but trying to imagine that. Yeah, a chill just ran up my posture pole trying to imagine that, you know? I don't know if I've ever told you, but you really have impressive grasp on romantic analysis. Well, I have read a lot of novels too. I just don't brag much about it, because it would literally be preposterous to do so. We should be jamming on the subject more, maybe explore some of my more advanced theories. We're surrounded by amateurs in this field, so it gets a bit frustrating. Well, the mayor's a good sounding board at least, when I want to bounce some of my more out there ideas off someone. Why don't we schedule an academic conference sometime? Just me, you, and the mayor. Or you, me, and the mayor. Oh, fuck yes. The mayor's a homie. The mayor's the biggest homie. Why isn't the mayor having any real conversations? The mayor's just completely left out. Mayor gets no arrows in these. What a shame. Gotta respect the mayor, man. Oh, we're doing this again. We're doing this again with the tabs. Dave, hey, am I interrupting anything? Friska, hey, Dave. No, Arceus and I we're just exchanging some notes before I bring the meeting to order again. Ooh, again. Okay, I just thought I would saunter over here. Things are getting pretty Lalonde heavy over there. It really is an awful lot of fucking Lalondes, isn't it? 2 was okay, or actually cool even, but this... Yeah. Time to see what's up over here. How is it going there, Broquia Sprite? Arquia Sprite. Nearly finished radically downgrading Crocker here. I then plan on mourning the complete restoration of her woeful inferiority with a moment of silence. Subtle of silent, subtle flexing. Jesus, I can't. Is this what dyslexia feels like? Just the mixture of symbols and shit. Okay, that was some weird stuff to say, but cool. So, you are some sort of freak, right? Yes. Okay, good to know. It's like talking to someone who's half my bro, but then not even really. The bro half is half AI or something. So maybe 1/4 bro, but then maybe even less because like alt universe considerations and also part sprite. I am notorious for being fucking sensational at mathematics. Why would you put an X there? But I don't think I could break it down for you without lying about the precision of my figures. Which is a practice I am by no means above, mind you. Yeah, the bottom line is I can tell you're just a really watered down version. Or maybe sweated down. Why the fuck are you so sweaty? I'm not. I toweled off less than a minute ago. Oh god. Sir Dave, excuse me. There's much we could talk about en route to waxing hard sentimental about our dubiously shared fraternal past. The fact that I will not shouldn't be mistaken for preoccupation with this delicate cyber task, which is trivial to me since my mind is a faultless silicon mesh of living or algorithmic perfection. Neither should it be ascribed to the fact that my troll fucking hemidentity? What the fuck is this even a word? No, it's not, because it literally brings up a Homestuck shit. Okay. Hemidentity. I see. I see. Whatever. My troll hemidentity finds the notion of a... Wait, hold on. Isn't, like... Hold on. What is hemi? Is that, like... That doesn't seem right. Is hemi, like... Fucking... Nope. I don't know anymore. Hemidentity? I don't fucking care. No one cares. I don't care. Actually, I care slightly, but not enough to care entirely about... I've cared too much even ranting about... Neither should it be ascribed to the fact that my troll hemidentity finds the notion of a reunion with you to be boring as a fiddling trout. Or a fiddling fruit. God, I can't read and I'm upset and my feelings... I'm just gonna drink some tea. Give me a moment here. I'm very upset and I don't know why. Alright. Neither should it be ascribed to the fact that my troll hemidentity finds the notion of a reunion with you to be boring as a fiddling fruit. I don't know what a fiddling fruit is either. And it's just that entire sentence. Is that a sentence? I guess sentence is just it is upsetting to read and it hurts my feelings. I just want to go to bed now, but we'll carry on at least through the next section because I don't know, I gotta get it done and well I don't have to. I don't why am I rambling? This isn't good. It is mainly that such a bonding experience strikes me as an endeavor falling outside my totally ripped and kictuous. What? I don't like this person. I don't like this character. I don't like this manner of speaking. I don't like these fucking quirks. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. It hurts. It hurts my feelings. I just don't want to. Falling outside my totally ripped and kictuous purview, brother times with real Dave would best be left to the custody of real Dirk, not to mention someone who gives at least greater than half a stupid shoot about you. Swoon. You know, I'm kinda glad you sound this insane, and for the most part barely understandable. It makes it extra obvious you aren't my legit bro, which means I can actually talk to you while only being, like, vaguely confused and unsettled instead of curling up into a ball and having some sort of social conniption. Speaking of which, when is he supposed to get here, by the way? Or BT dubs? Relax, Dave. He's scheduled to arrive around the same time as all the other bad guys. You still have time. I could have expedited his arrival, but I knew that meeting him was going to be a big deal for you, so I decided to let you have some space while we make some plans. See? I'm always thinking about what's good for you guys and what's best for the overall strategy. Keeping everyone in high spirits is important. What do you mean expedited? Never mind that. Just chill out. All right. As long as I'm supposedly chilling and in no way wondering about my bro. Are you sure there's no beverages in that fridge? No, AJ, or it's a blind alley, brother dog. I don't like this one bit. I already asked if she had milk in there once, plus another 9 redundant times after that. I also asked if she would like to touch my muscles. The answers were 10 no's and 1 yes. That reminds me, Dave. Would you like to touch my muscles? Maybe later. So you're sure there's nothing to drink in there? Yes, Dave. Don't know why I'm so insistent. Not like my fridge ever had anything comestible? The fuck?
Comestible.
I nailed it, but still. Comestible inside. Why the fuck did you even bring it? Don't worry about it. Oh, come on. Gamzee's in there. Honk. Oh, right. Somehow I forgot that we literally just established that. You had Gamzee locked in there for some reason. You sure we shouldn't maybe let him out? Brown face. He could suffocate in there. He'll just revive, God tier style, right? He's not a fucking God tier. He's faking it. He just made that fucking suit from scratch or something. I know he's complete trash, but maybe we should just let him out. What's the harm? It's not like he can cause much trouble. We all way outnumber him and have way more powers and shit. No. Oh, wow, no. We will never not ever. We will not ever be hearing from him again. No. Never, never, never again. Never. Wow. So, you're just gonna let him suffocate in there then. Dave, give me a little more credit than that. Gamzee is supposedly relevant to some stuff that's going to happen in the new universe. He's still got some plot armor or some shit. So when Earth is resuscitated, I'm just going to drop the fridge in the ocean or something and let him find his own way out. Okay, that's fair. I mean, firm, but fair. Well, maybe that's not fair, but I guess I don't care. So, excuse me. So is John's hot mom awake yet? No, I mean, not hot mom, just mom. Damn, did anyone hear that? Yes. Shit. Let's reboot all trains of thought starting now. How much longer till his hot mom's awake? Mom, I mean his. Not mine. His mom, not my hot mom. My mom, I mean, fucking hell. Not my mom, his. John's hot mom. Jesus. Sigh. The Strider Express is off the rails again. so I'm going to duck out of this conversation. See you later, everybody. Or, see you, everyone. No, Vriska, don't go. At least do me the solid of letting me land squarely on some phrases that allow some plausible deniability over whether I think John's mom is super fucking hot. Shit, wait. Pretend I didn't say that while still rendering its meaning in your mind somehow. Vriska's gone. I'm not even talking to anyone. Dave, forgive me if I'm missing some nuance here, but it sounds to me as if you believe John's mother is physically attractive. Okay, now you're just twisting my words around. What would John think? Okay, that's an interesting thought, but hear me out. What if we ran an experiment and spent the rest of our lives finding out what happened if we never told him? Ooh, that's an interesting experiment, personally speaking. And now I lost my line. Blah, blah, blah. I will consider your request for secrecy. Maybe. Frankly, I'm not sure she is anything to write home about. What? What? Oh, what the fuck? Are you on the idiot drugs today? How could you possibly be serious about that? How is this unconscious teen grandmother not a completely smoking babe? I guess she's not my container of scalding leaf fluid. Oh, okay. I was so confused, but she was talking about la tea. Ah, that's some good scalding leaf fluid. Actually, I need a little bit more. Mmm. Oh, yeah, that's a big ass cup of scalding leaf fluid. No, I don't even believe you. You're obviously just trying to rile me up by going against the grain of fragrantly obvious babe facts. Is Dave saying inappropriate things about John's mother over there? No, I'm not saying anything, just standard casual observations from a regular bystanding person. He keeps calling her hot. Wow, wow. Peddle lies much? I guess reprehensible dishonesty is all the rage with the troll kids today. Wait, what's going on? Are we all talking about how hot Jane is? No, maybe? Because Janie is a straight up sexual fox riding a red hot nuclear bombshell right towards the Yowza Plaza in the heart of Babe City, Massachusetts, USA. The last A just stands for more ass. United States of ass. Hey, that's a good. Thank you for defending the position I may or may not have been arguing for 4 moments ago. Oh yeah, I may or may not have been arguing 4 moments ago. No comment. Hey, are you guys talking about me? What's going on? Nope, Lamau. Dave thinks your mom is hot. What? God damn it, Terezi. Exposed into next year. This is uncomfortable to look at. Just. I need more leaf fluid. Damn it, I don't have enough leaf fluid for this. I'm almost out of leaf fluid. Hey, Mr. Jake Harley, I presume? No, it's English, actually. 'Twas my grandmother's surname. Oh, my mistake. So then, is it just a coincidence that she had the same name as an invincible supervillain? Are condenses... Fucking Jesus. Are coincidences even real? I don't know. The history is a little murky to me. I heard she took the name from a nasty fellow to spite a wicked baroness. Okay, good to know. It's just been interesting to learn how even though we are all pretty similar, we all had a lot of really different life details. I guess so. Like, there are all these things I take for granted about Jade's childhood, which in reality is similar to yours, but not really. She had a super powerful dog you didn't have, and also a grandpa you couldn't have had because that was grown up you. I'd be really curious to hear about all the differences in your life sometime, if you don't mind. Sure. Hell, I'd be really curious to hear about the differences in my alt life, so to speak. But Jane is asleep. I'm guessing she grew up in a similar situation I did, but with a bunch of differences. Guess I'll just have to wait. Well, she was a good friend. I know lots of stuff about her life. What do you want to know? Oh, let's see. So I was her grandpa instead of her being my nana. I'm not sure if that statement made sense, but you know what I mean. Yeah, she had a pop. He was a really funny and beloved old-time comedian, so I guess that is the guy you grew up to be. Cool. I never knew my Nana growing up, except as an urn of ashes above the fireplace. I only met her as a sprite, or was I dead, or was he? Oh, never mind. I only met her as a sprite. Was I dead, or was he? Yep, but he wasn't ashes. They had a different way of preserving him, which I think was arguably more dignified. How? Have you seen Weekend at Bernie's? No. Heard of it, though. Oh man, you have to see it. It's a couple of knuckleheads who parade around with a funny corpse trying to pass him off as a living friend, and Good Time Charlie over a sense of. Wait, what? Yeah, and Good Time Charlie over a Siska. The fuck? I don't. I can't parse this sentence properly. I'm losing brain cells as I speak. It's about a couple of knuckleheads who parade around with a funny corpse trying to pass him off as a living friend, and Good Time Charlie over a series of escapades. Sounds incredible. I still have it if you want to see it sometime. Definitely. So, you like movies? Do I? Haha, I love movies too. There are a whole bunch I'd want to show you, assuming you haven't seen them already. I love talking about them with people. I think my friends usually just humored me about the movies I liked, but I have a feeling you'd really dig them. Oh, I guarantee you I would. Awesome. I can't wait to show you some. So, that means Jane had an old man corpse version of me around somewhere, like in her house? Yes. Okay, that sounds pretty preposterous to me. But I guess she must have grown up thinking it was normal. Not really. She was always pretty put off by it, to be honest. Poor Jane. I'll have to apologize to her for freaking her out from beyond the grave. What was her life like otherwise? Pretty typical, I'd say. She always characterized it as boring, but I never agreed, really. She got to live on the mainland with access to all kinds of things I didn't have. Plus, she lived with a cool and manly father who cared about her a lot and seemed like a stand-up guy. Or a stand-up gent. Oh, she lived with her dad too. Do you know anything about him? Not much other than what I just said and a few things she told me. I think he was stern and fatherly and well-dressed, if memory serves. He was a private detective at one point. A private detective? Wow. It sounds like he must have been a completely different kind of dad from the one I had. All these differences are so interesting. Some are subtle, but some are dramatic. Like this one apparently is. It would be neat to meet him. I mean, not that it would be much of a substitute for getting to see my dad again, since they're totally different people, but you know what I mean. Do you know what happened to him? I'm not sure. I kinda lost track of him for a while. I think he might be in jail. Jail? Yeah, on Durst, I think. I could be wrong though. I'll make a mental note to check on him sometime. I bet Jane would want to too, when she wakes up. I'll ask her about it. Good idea. You know, Jake, at first you seemed pretty shy, but you don't really seem that way at all now. You strike me as a nice regular dude who likes movies and stuff. I'm glad we're getting a chance to talk. Yeah, me too. I've been feeling way out of sorts since I got sprung from the big house and dragged along to this here frog stage to suddenly bump gums with way too many people. But you're a really good company, John, and you know how to make a guy feel at ease. Heh, yeah, it is a lot of people. I'm having trouble keeping track of everyone myself. They all seem like decent folk and all, but I guess everyone's catching me at a bad time. This wasn't how I pictured things going at all. How are you picturing it? Or how were you picturing it? Naively, I suppose. It's not that I was expecting differently of anyone else. Yeah, it's not that I was expecting differently of anyone else, but more that I had spurious visions of my own conduct. Oh, remember the letter I sent you? Yeah. All the excitement and swagger you heard from me in those words? That's the man I thought I'd be when you met me. A man of action and gumption. Hell, when I wrote that, I thought by now maybe people would even have come to see me as a leader. What a laugh. I turned out to be such a disappointment to myself. Such a disappointment to myself and everyone else. The bravado in that letter was fake, I've realized lately. I realized a lot of things. that I could never be a leader or a people person, or probably ever have a quality relationship with someone. So it's hard to get up a lot of moxie for a big moment like this, even though I'm as excited about it as everyone else. Tavro Sprite already tried cheering me up, and he's nice, but I don't think it worked. Like, by saying maybe all that stuff isn't true, and maybe I'm actually really great in all the ways I don't think I am. It's a nice thought, but also it weirdly just doesn't make me feel any better. John, you seem like the kind of guy who likes trying to cheer up a pal. So I guess just so you know, someone already tried telling me I was wrong and it didn't work. I don't think you're wrong though. Well, I don't know. We just met. What could I know about you other than what you tell me? I believe you about all that. Really. It just sounds to me like you're going through a lot of changes. Changes are good. Exclamation mark. Or exclamation point? I don't. Fuck it. It's not important. Especially if you understand that that's what's happening to you. I think that's how we grow and stuff. I think I've changed in a lot of ways. Some ways that weren't easy. Yeah, sure. So you're realizing you like being by yourself, it sounds like. Big deal. I like being alone a lot of times too. It helps me think. If that's who you are, there's nothing wrong with that. Jade's grandpa liked being by himself too. So much so that he moved to an island as far away from civilization as possible. But he still did adventurous stuff and was super successful, and also raised a cool granddaughter, who was actually his daughter. Who was actually his daughter, and I guess also yours. Huh. Yes, I guess you're right. And if nothing else, at least you have a cool costume. You really like it? Hell yes. Wow, thanks. Sometimes I worry that I might look a little silly and feel kind of exposed maybe. Like I'm on sexy display or such and people don't see me as a person. I wouldn't worry about that. I love the god tier pajamas and yours are badass. You look like a superhero. Really? Yes. Well, maybe a plucky sidekick at least. Sidekicks are really underrated anyway. I think in some cases they might be the real stars. Like, Batman, truth be told, I think he might just be some kind of gallivanting idiot. He's got all the money and skills in the world, and what does he do? He buys a fancy car to drive around in, and then jumps out and starts punching crooks with his bare hands. Then when he gets hornswoggled by a wily clown with no powers and a lot less money, who has to bail him out? His sidekick, of course. Excuse me? Yeah, you're right. What is Batman even trying to prove, being all serious and cool looking? His sidekick looks like he has a lot of more fun. Yeah, has a lot more fun, and smacks of confidence and self-assurance, trotting around in his underpants. Batman probably doesn't even care much about stopping crime. It's more about walloping thugs and getting to feel cool. If he really cared about stopping bad guys, he'd probably use his money to buy guns, and at least show the criminals he's packing, to make them scared, if not surrender outright. I bet his sidekick probably just has to wait for Batman to bungle things up with his stupid karate. And when he gets in trouble, the sidekick just guns down all the crooks from a safe distance like a sensible person. That's actually a reasonable thought. Well, I do love guns. Also fisticuffs. See? There you go. You're better than Batman already. Carcat. Whisper, 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 whisper. John, hold on. Shh, listen. Jake, dot, dot, dot. Carcat. Whisper, whisper. Mayor. Whisper, whisper, whisper. Cantown. Whisper, whisper, but where? Whisper, whisper. Earth, whisper. Whisper, whisper. To scale. Don't see how whisper, whisper, whisper. If you're really going to whisper, 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 build whisper, whisper. Haha, he's talking to the mayor again. So it seems. They really have quite the rapport. I just love how he talks to the mayor. It's like he made up this whole language of minimal talking and hand gestures. It's so cute. Ahem. Egbert, what the fuck? Were you eavesdropping? No. Also, I'm happy the mayor finally gets some conversation time going. I wasn't, blah, blah, blah. Were you eavesdropping? No. This is a fucking private conversation. Stop being rude garbage. I wasn't eavesdropping. You just happened to be like right there, and you're a really loud whisperer. Oh, okay then. Here, have an excessively quiet. Shut the fuck up. Sorry. Go back to your cute mayor conference. We'll mind our own business. Achoo, achoo. Oh man, what's going on now? Achoo, meow, achoo. Why, achoo? Does your Lucius need achoo to be here? Achoo. My allergies. Jaspers? What are you? Wait a minute. Rose, is that you? Jasper Sprite. Meow. Oh my god. I turn my back for 2 seconds and something stupid happens. Tavra Sprite. Achoo. Ah, so we've finished the rapport between the kids for 8 page, and I don't, you know what, let's keep going until it don't want to keep going. Okay, everybody, time's up. Wrap up your conversations. Our tactical meeting is officially back in order. It seems really mean to like just hammer on the fridge when he's locked in there. Sort of mean. Alright, has everyone shut up yet? I think so. Great. Let's not waste another second then. I'm diving right into this. Everyone pay close attention and try to keep up. I'll start by describing the exact nature of the threats we are dealing with here, and go from there. According to intelligence gathered during our trip along with some reconnaissance work on arrival, this session has 4, possibly 5 major adversaries. The Condescents, of course, and 3 Jack Noirs of various levels of danger. Plus, there's a female Prospidian of equivalent power to the strongest Jack. She's sort of an X-Factor. It's hard to accurately gauge her threat level, but I'm not about to take any chances. All these threats are just outside the Insifosphere, en route to the session as we speak. Once they arrive, all hell will break loose. That's when Endgame is officially go. You only have a couple hours to prepare, so you need to listen to every word I say. Victory will depend on following my plan to the letter. So, where's the Condess right now? She's on Durst, preparing for the same critical convergence herself. After our little prison raid caught her completely off guard, costing her some hostages and key points of leverage, we've essentially reached a temporary ceasefire by default while both sides regroup. This is not how she expected things would go. We had the advantage of surprise that time, but we won't be so lucky next time. She's waiting for the Jacks to get here just like we are. Once they do, she'll instantly have the upper hand, and she knows this. Her particular combination of abilities, along with her supervillain-like cunning, make her an extremely dangerous part of this equation. That's why we need a good strategy in place before the shit hits the breeze blender. How do you blend breeze? That doesn't sound right at all. So in addition, for waiting for way too many Jacks to get here, we're also waiting for my bro too, right? Who gets here at the same time, or... Oh, I am lagging up a storm. What is going on? I am concerned with the sovereignty of everything here. It is bad. Oh my god, what the fuck's happening? Alright, are we stable? Is everything good? Phasers on stun? That's a bad joke that even I don't understand. I don't watch the Star Trek. Fuck, that's a great chance for me to blow that joke and say Star Wars, or even say, I don't know, what's another star thing? Oh, whatever. The star systems. Anyway. Yes, the other Strider was banished to the periphery as well, and is in transit. He'll arrive at the same time, give or take, and should be a great tactical asset. Sources tell me the dude is pretty good with a sword. That's me, I'm the source. I told you that, and it's true. Yes, thank you, Arceus. This is starting to sound a bit complicated. How are we supposed to keep track of all these villains and heroes coming and going when and where? You're right, Kanye. At this point in the meeting, I think we could use some diagrams to help with the battle plans. Carcat, if you wouldn't mind. I still have no idea why you put me on drawing duty. I'm easily the worst artist here. And I'm in a setting that includes Dave. Let's get real. That's no small feat. I specifically assigned you to diagramming duty so that it would keep you occupied. That way you'd stand a chance of keeping your mouth shut while I talk strategy. I need some water, one moment. Hopefully that's clear now. That's worked out great so far, hasn't it? We've lost how many strategy seconds to me complaining about drawing already? Sure, but I know that drawing requires a lot of concentration from you. Once you're in the zone, I expect you'll simmer down. Wow, fuck you. You're probably right, but fuck you nevertheless. Where the shit is my art pencil? I have some drawing to do. Okay, so we're here. The Insifosphere is around us. Strider's over here. Jack's over here. Other Jack is here. The Hick is here, and dogs are over there. Let's run down the the threat list. Fuck it. Let's run down the tier list with a full debriefing on each tier. We'll start with the big fish herself, the former empress of our world, her imperious condensation, the S tier. The only reason we've been able to temporarily neutralize her stranglehold from on this session is by taking two major pieces away from her, Harley and Crocker, one of the better patch notes we've had. Rest assured, she's already scheming to reassert her dominance, and if it weren't for my intervention here, I'd bet everything I'd spent on the Sea Witch. She's gonna get massive buffs in the next patch. She spent centuries upgrading her abilities, which now include both kinds of telekinesis. The simpler variety more common to Rustbloods, and the nasty kind which sometimes yellow-blooded mutants have, involving all the fucking eye lasers and shit. Hussy, please nerf. If that weren't enough, she has a mix of telepathic abilities too, like mine, plus the animal communion kind more typical of brown bloods. Like me, Tavros Sprite says. Yes, Tavros, like you. This means she can hijack animals and trolls, assuming they aren't particularly resistant to influence, like me, obviously. Humans, I'm guessing, are still off limits to her influence, unless they've got some animal blood in them, which is what makes Jade such a dangerous element here. One of the mission critical priorities is to make sure she stays asleep. If she ever wakes up, the Condense takes control again. That's probably game over for you guys. Jade's first Guardian abilities make her too much to deal with on top of everything else. It's also possible that the Condense may have some sway over the Prospidian and one of the Jacks because of their part dog nature too. It's hard to say what their level of resistance is, so I can't really be sure. Or I really can't be sure. Strategically, it's best to err on the safe side, though, and presume this could be an issue. That's why taking on the Condense has to be a huge priority. Ideally, you should be trying to kill or disable her as quickly as possible. Oh god, they're planning a raid. Oh, this is a raid plan. Fuck, this is, oh shit. Fuck, who's the guild? Well, I guess she's the guild leader. What's the name of the guild? Fucking, I don't know. If you have a good idea for the name of the guild, feel free to deliver it to me in whatever format you choose, whether in comments or probably just comments, but I don't know. Figure out a way to send me it, and I probably won't remember asking for this, but you can do it regardless. And now I've lost my place because I didn't highlight it, and I'm an idiot, and it's all blue, and there's no fucking okay, fine. Ideally, you should be trying to kill or disable her as quickly as possible. But if that's easier said than done... Okay, yes, I read that correctly. Then what you need to do is keep her occupied. Throw everything you have at her, whatever crazy powers you've got. Just keep her busy, distracted enough by a bunch of pesky kids, so she won't have time to get clever with her powers. This is the best defense against the off chance she might be able to sway the dog Jack and Prospidian, and a failsafe in case Jade wakes up for whatever reason. When it comes to killing her, I don't have much to advise. There's no intel on her weaknesses or anything like that. In fact, I'd bet she doesn't have any. Like any powerful endgame boss, you just have to keep hammering away at her until she's dead. More dots! Enough said. This brings us to the Jacks. The difference... Wait, to differentiate, I'll give them nicknames. Dog Jack, Lord Jack, and Robo Jack. Robo Jack. Anyway. Let's talk about them in order of threat level. Carcat, I'm going to need another shitty drawing. This time of Dog Jack and his Prospidian counterpart, please. Hey, put your middle fingers to the sky. Ah, yes. I see you are intent on being a wiggler about this, as we have all come to expect. Whatever, I've been working within the confines of everyone's stupid limitations already, so I might as well work around yours as well. Hey, that's a pretty good little, I don't know, ditty, fix, whatever. That's a way to solve a problem. It's creative. It's nice. Anyway. There, perfect. Dog Jack is easily the most powerful adversary of the bunch. In terms of pure physical capability, the Condense has the edge in guile and flexibility, and Lord Jack has a ton of offensive power too. But there's nothing quite like the first Guardian abilities to give someone an overwhelming tactical advantage. The ability to teleport anywhere in the session, anytime, or anyone, wait. The ability to teleport anywhere in the session, anytime, or anyone, anywhere, anytime, while having access to an inexhaustible power supply from the Green Sun really makes it no contest, even against an otherwise awesome combatant. If it were just him you had to deal with, I wouldn't like your odds, honestly. But luckily for us, there's a major factor here which should mostly neutralize him during this huge melee, which is the Prospidian. Power-wise, she's a precisely even match for him, and better yet, she apparently can't stand the guy. I still don't know what her real motives are, but you know what they say. Enemy of my enemy and all. So I say let her have at him, and if the opportunity presents itself, help her defeat him. I will also give this bit of advice. If Jade ever wakes up and the Condense is sufficiently occupied, make sure Jade goes nowhere near the Condenses. Wait, the Condense and sick her on Dog Jack. She's the only one here whose abilities are on par with his, so that's where they're best applied. Got it? Good. Next, Lord Jack. Carcat? Kiss my shame globes. What are shame... You know what? I should know this, but whatever. How does this look? Great. I think I can work with this. Ah, pretty good. Oh yes, another true work of art has been made here today. Anyway, this ugly customer you see here, this is the Jack native to the session we're in now. Somehow he got possessed. Holy shit. I need to see like a doctor or something. Actually, I do need to see a doctor, but for other reasons that are irrelevant to the current conversation at hand. I'm going to drink some more tea, I guess. Maybe the tea's causing it. Anyway. This ugly customer you see here, this is the Jack native to the session we're in now. Somehow he got possessed by, or like infused with, Lord English's crazy, ridiculously destructive magical powers. I have no idea why or how this happened, how it's theoretically even possible, or why we should actually care. The fact of the matter is, it happened, and now we have to deal with this hideous rainbow-eyed monstrosity. Given what I have learned about Lord English's abilities, this will make his attacks quite lethal, and he will be extremely difficult to kill. In fact, that fucking rainbow energy might just give him the highest constitution ranking of any adversary, possibly making him the toughest one here to actually kill off. The only reason he's not at dog tier threat level is because, for all his powers, at least it's localized to wherever he happens to be. He's about as slow as any of us lowly non-omnipotents. Or omnipotence. Non-omnipotence. Blech. Good words. He's not quite as relevant to keep occupied, or even to defeat, as the Condense herself. But he's still going to be huge trouble when he gets here. You're going to need to stick him some really good... You're going to need to stick some really good fighters on him. My advice is also to seriously prepare for casualties during that fight. As the group's chief healer, Jane is going to need rapid access to the multiple fronts of this battle. More on that later. That brings us to RoboJack. He's the Jack originating from our session. Remember him, Carcat? We hatched a plan with him to take down the Black Queen. Seems like not so long ago, doesn't it? Now, apparently he's got cybernetic upgrades. Who the fuck knows how that happened, or for that matter, why, or how he's on the way here now. My mind boggles trying to even picture the amount of stupid shit he's been through between now and when we knew him. Put this on the ever-lengthening shit, or, fuck it. Put this on the ever-lengthening list of garbage that this doesn't matter and nobody cares about. Actually, shit of garbage would have worked there. The fact is, we have no idea what his affiliations are at this point, but like I'm always saying, best to just plan for the worst and assume this is just another scrub we gotta kill. He's the lowest on the threat level though his various enhancements and accessories may pose more of a challenge than we bargained for. Excuse me. He's also fucking, what is going on with my voice and throat and... He's also traveling with a juju known for its high storage capacity, so he's possibly packing company. Maybe a lot of company. I won't get into that now, though. You're going to need to reserve a squad for dealing with this guy, and whoever he's brought along for the ride. It's a lesser priority, so I'd recommend an ensemble of third stringers. No offense to whoever those brave souls may be. Every lame wad has their place in an epic battle, and everyone's effort counts. Egbert-looking kid, I'm looking at you. Or I guess, exclamation mark. Possibly you too, Tavros. Maybe. Also, exclamation mark. That covers the overall tactical situation. Great job, Carcat. Really, just an all-around great job. I mean that. Thank you. Now listen. We've got to keep these battles spread out across the session so you don't all start tripping on each other's toes, turning this into more of a clusterfuck than it already is. That means you need to station teams ready to intercept the Jacks wherever they're coming from. You also need to launch your lightning strike raid, calling it a raid officially, on the continents before any of them get here. As for your party's healer, like I said, she'll need to be highly mobile. So what you'll need to do is lay out a network of key portals and transporters so she can make the rounds and be in tight communication with her. One of you less relevant, more mobile folks should get on that now. See, scatter window portals like these around the various battle sites. Roxy, yo, did you loot my house or something? Please don't interrupt. Transporters will work too, if you can get them all hooked up right. This is definitely busy work, but it's also really important. So we need someone competent in charge of this. Rosprite, I think I can handle that. Yeah? Yes. I'm quite mobile in this new form. Also, I think my abilities will help with forecasting the optimal network to lay out, along with helping Jane coordinate her routes during battle. Plus, I have to admit, I kind of relish the idea of being a less relevant party member, particularly since I think it is inherently true now. Okay, Rosprite? That's great. You can volunteer for that job if you want, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. We'll be divvying up the roles momentarily. But cool. We have you down for that. Again, it's critical. The whole party will need to defend Crocker's life at all costs. She can't get sucked into any combat. If she dies, you could all be fucked. Okay, I'm not going to make the joke, so it's not worth it. Be sure to fill her in on the logistics whenever Arqueus has finished deprogramming her. Everyone got it? Awesome. Since that pretty thoroughly covers the full tactical situation, we can move on to the real strategizing. Now, we can assign combat roles. Smiley face. Vriska, wait. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Or John Vriska, wait. Before you go on, I just wanted to say, I'm really impressed with your strategic analysis so far. You really seem to be all over this. I wouldn't even know where to begin figuring out all this stuff. Or figuring all this stuff out. Anyway, I'm glad we have you back on our side. Aw, thanks, John. Just thought I'd say, I don't want you to go through all this stuff for us, thinking it was going unappreciated. Anyway, please continue. Vriska, you got it. Now it's time to divide everyone into teams. Let's go down the list of foes again and assign party members to each battle. Once again, starting from the top. The condense. Or the condescents. We'll need a team to raid Durst again, but this time for all the marbles. And remember, the raid has to start before the rest of the action to keep her from getting the upper hand. And the party has to be at least good enough to, if not defeat her, keep her busy for a long time. So who wants a piece of the Sea Witch? Roxy and Rose. Me. Alright, I've got 2 takers from the Lalonde camp. We'll need more though. Who else? John, I'll go. You sure, John? I think so. From what you said, it sounds like this is the most important battle. If we don't keep her busy, everything could get messed up. I think I'd be good at that. I can use all my windy powers for distractions and such. Okay, you're with the Lalondes then. Make it count. I may as well go too, says Kanye. It would be It would be a shame if the party defeating the woman who terrorized our planet for ages had no representation from our species. Shame or not, I'm afraid that can't work, Kanye. Why not? You can't join their party. Well, not yet at least. There's another critical role which you specifically need to play first. We can't risk losing you in battle until it's complete. What is it? I'll explain later, after the teams are set. Vriska, okay, let's say Team Condense is good enough for now, with John, Rose, and Roxy. Next foe, Dog Jack. Fuck, it's just... I have a horrible, like, I don't know, childish mind, because dog jacking is just... Red Rocket! Red Rocket! I'm sorry, my immaturity is shining. Like I said, we're banking on the Prospidian keeping him busy. So, he's not an immediate battle priority. We won't design a team for him right now. But as I mentioned, in the event Jade wakes up for some reason, she should be reserved exclusively for this fight. That means someone needs to tell her, if not in person, then some other way. Perhaps leave a reminder for her, maybe tied to her finger or something. Ah, 1-eyed out of 8 wink. Others can join the fight against him if need be, once their targets have been dealt with. Until then, better to let the heavy hitters keep him in check. Next, Lord Jack. Who wants to die on this guy? Or, wait, who wants dibs on this guy? Holy shit. Dave, I guess that's me. Okay, Dave. There are all these rumors swirling around that I've got to beat Ellie anyway, which is probably bogus, but whatever. Killing this guy at least would be the next best thing right now. So maybe if I do that, I could, like, put the prophecy to rest. That logic sounds reasonable to me. For what it's worth, I never bought into that idea. I never bought into the idea that you were supposed to be the one to kill English anyway. So that's one down. Who else? Terezi. Okay, why not? You sure, Terezi? You're not immortal, remember? And this one's going to be tough. You said we need good fighters to go at this guy, and I think I'm pretty decent. At least at stabbing things, so I'll go. Besides, someone has to witness Dave's heroism if he wants to be let off the hook for that prophecy. Hey, it's your decision. Anyway, anyone else? Terezi, what about Dave's bro? I heard he's supposed to be hot shit. Yeah, sure. That's fine. If you're comfortable volunteering someone who isn't here for a deadly battle. It's cool if you want to do that. Vriska, Dave, come on. As if it's not extremely likely he'd seek you out upon getting here anyway. Why don't we just pencil him into this team as probably? Or into the team as probably. Dot, 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 dot. Or triple ellipses, I guess, is the simplest way, right? It's like, I guess, triple ellipses and 2/3. Just be sure to debrief him on the whole situation when he gets here. Think you can handle that, Dave? Okay, great. Which reminds me, what about you, Arceus? How do you want to fit into this? I haven't decided yet. I'm going to crunch some more numbers in the vast combat matrix I just compiled now in the micro blink of a nanoseconds to deduce the optimal strategy appropriation of my assets, i.e. muscles. Joining Real Dave in battle is semi-tempting, but I do not wish to horn in on Real Dirk shit. Ah. Instead, I would prefer to blaze my own trail with my own hooves. I always wanted to do something really important and heroic. I mean, aside from all the other stuff I've done like that, which is quite a lot. but something quite grandiose and perfectly unmistakable as a gesture turning the tide of fortune for all of existence. This is what I've always desired. Well, that is to say, both halves of me once had such an ambivalent desire, which was compromised by a respective internalized conflict. Hmm. But together, that desire is fully realized, no longer ambivalent. Nay, it is now fully bivalent, perhaps even univalent. Okay, sure, univalent. I would like my gestures to shock everyone. It must come from out of the blue, make virtually no sense, stun all involved, and have a lasting, profoundly unintelligible impact on a future. Or wait, on an all future and pseudo. What? Sure, and have a lasting, profoundly unintelligible impact on all future and pseudo future events. Sure, I guess another fucking typo, which doesn't make reading this shit hard as fuck already. Vriska, nothing. Or maybe, nope, it's just nothing. There's nothing there. Does this answer your question? Oh, sorry. I was temporarily mesmerized by your incredible spiel. Needless to say, I absolutely agree with your philosophy on heroic action and wanting to do something important. In any case, you've earned the right to do whatever the fuck you want, so just by dint of being awesome. What? Yeah. Sure. Yeah, earn the right to do whatever the fuck you want just by dint of being awesome. Sure, whatever. End of story. Okay, next. We'll need to design a team, or designate a team for Robojack and his entourage. Alright, full disclosure, this is where things get kind of stupid. Even talking about this guy and his crew is probably a waste of tactical analysis, but the fact is he's going to be here and you're going to have to deal with his bullshit. I strongly recommend the dregs of this group. Wait, yeah, wait, hold on. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, the dregs of your party get stuck with mop-up duty on this. Really, I'm kind of laughing already. Oh man, I really don't want to spoil too much fun for you guys, but no, I shouldn't. What? Okay, intelligence reports I've gathered, namely through a bit of time-hopping reconnaissance, suggest that Robojack may, I repeat, may, be in transit with a bunch of green time-traveling idiots in that oven. Don't quote me on that. Anyway, if true, none of these bozos are particularly powerful. They'll mainly just be a nuisance. So who wants to deal with them, Hey, kid. Yes, I'm talking to you again. God damn it, what was his name again? Joke? Vriska, stop. It's Jape and you know it. Listen, Joke, snap out of it. I'm talking to you. Oh, sorry. This is a strategy session, Joke. Please stay alert. Now, do you think you can handle being on this team? Awesome, that's the spirit. This assignment should be right up your alley, kid. Who else? Me, I'll do it, says Tavros, Sprite. Thanks for volunteering, Tavros. This fight is pretty well suited to your skill set, too, and you can join Joke here to help him get ready, but there's one thing I need you to do before the battle starts. Oh, really? What? I'll explain to you later in private, but it's critical and something only you can do. Oh, that makes me the funny feelings combination of skeptical, nervous, and excited. Good. That's exactly how you should be feeling about it. Trust me. So anyone else want to step forward? Carcat, are you fucking with me now? Come again? Well, let's see if I'm tallying this up, right? John and the Lawns 1 and 2 are on Team Condens. Or Condescence. Fucking, I don't care. Condes. The Strider Bros and Pyrope are on the Lord team. Jade, when not on nap duty, is on the dog team exclusively. The mayor isn't doing shit because I am personally seeing to that not a single post-apocalyptic tatter on his head gets harmed. Crocker is on healing detail, and Lalonde there volunteered to support that. Kanye has some vague yet to be explained mission to do, and so does Tavros. And Joke here just got shunted off to the Pee Wee League. So who the fuck is even left aside from me and the fucking cat, I guess? Excuse me. Again. A lot of burps. Are you sure we shouldn't pick a role for Rose's fucking cat Lucius before, or Luscious, or Lucius, whatever. Lucius before moving on to the absolute bottom of the barrel. Sometimes referred to as the Vantis Zone. Oh, great point, Carcat. Hey there, kitty. Meow. What would you like to do? I'd like to eat some tuna fish and cuddle with either Rose or Roxy, or both. Aw. Okay, that can be your very important job. Don't let us down. Purr, purr, purr. Thank God we sorted that out. Now that we've established the kitty cat is heading up the fish eating operation, I think we can safely proceed to the rung of strategic importance directly below that. The infamous "what is Carcat going to do" rung. And since everyone else has a job and my skills are relatively unimpressive, I'll have to sign up for Team Dipshit too. Hell, even the kid in the banana hammock is a god tier at least, so I guess that means I'll be taking orders from him. Sure, why not? Second in command to a third-rate hero. Sounds about right to me. Carcat, yeah. Yes, you're absolutely right that you basically suck, and that as a tactical resource you should be managed accordingly. But you aren't joining Joke's team, or doing any fighting for that matter. Like Kanye, there's another more pressing matter reserved for you. In fact, it's the same as hers. What the fuck? When were you planning on telling me this? Carcat, I already alluded to this when you waltzed over, interrupted my conversation with Kanye, and pretended you weren't flirting with me. Remember? Oh, right. Well, what's this pressing matter? I'm getting to that very soon. In fact, I just needed to get the team squared away first. Okay, well, are they? Looks like it. So that means Jake, I mean, really is a one-man team designated for Robojack and his oven bozos. Apparently. You okay with that, kid? You can do it. Just believe in yourself or whatever the fuck. When in doubt, just remind yourself that battle isn't even particularly important. Or just remind yourself that battle isn't even particularly important. And help could be on the way once some of the other battles start coming to some sort of resolution. Just hang in there. Oh, okay. Excellent. That concludes the tactical planning part of this debriefing. It's all perfectly logical, right? No questions or anything? Cool. Really, I shudder to think what you numbskulls would be doing if I weren't around. Like John just implied with his nice remarks. He really did you all the biggest fucking favor in the history of time shenanigans by clobbering me in the face 3 years ago. You should all make him a gift basket when this is over to show your gratitudes. No need to thank me, of course. I'm just doing my job here. Now, let's go over some really basic non-combat endgame stuff. Then we'll be ready to break. First, about Kanye and Carcat's mission. I alluded to a minute ago. This is really important. You both listening? Yes. No. Well, okay, 1 out of 2 isn't bad. As long as Kanye understands, that's mainly what matters, since she's the more important part of this equation. Wow, I'm fucking shocked. What do we, or excuse me, what does she have to do? You both have to go to Jade's planet and see Echidna. Even though this session is about as far from normal as it can possibly get, the same basic rules apply. Someone needs to seek an audience with her and get her to agree to release the Genesis frog, or the tadpoles that grows up to become the frog, which is the stage of development he's in at this point. Remember, Kanye, you had to do this on your planet to get our frog released into Skya. Yeah, she asked me to do something impossible, to which I replied, that's impossible, so she ended up demanding that I fight her. So I did, which made me feel real sad. I'd rather not have to do that again. Will I have to do that again? If that's what she wants, then yes. Why does it have to be me, though? Because someone has to. Sources tell me this is the plan the Condess has had for you, before we derailed all her shit. You keep talking about all these sources. Who are these sources? Did Arqueus tell you about this too? Or tell you this too? No, look, I've been busy, okay? Information is everywhere if you know where to look. Durst has a lot of agents on the inside who are wise to the old lady's plans. Shaking the bushes for good intel isn't that complicated. It just takes a little effort. Some people on this lily pad should maybe try looking into that sometime. If you say so. Would you just put a lid on it for a second and listen? Normally Jade would be the one to do this, but at the time, Jade had become corrupted. So I guess Echidna wouldn't deal with her. And now Jade's asleep, which is exactly how she needs to stay. So that leaves the person Echidna requested in Jade's absence, which is you. I'm assuming because you were also a space player, so you'll be able to understand her garbled nonsense language. But that's not all there is to it. She also requested you bring Carcat. Ugh, why the hell would she want to see me? No idea. Denizens are mysterious. Maybe she wants a night along, or a blood player. Or maybe she just has a bone to pick with you in particular. You know, since you and Kanye were both involved in the frog breeding stuff in our session, and let's face it, you kinda messed that up. You were pretty hasty and reckless about it, and the result was a defective frog. Sure, there's more to it than that. Like problems with the human session that were totally interrelated with ours due to the cyclical time garbage. But you get the point. Echidna probably, Echidna probably doesn't take lightly or take kindly to people who are cavalier with the sacred frog duties. That's kind of her. Or that's kind of her domain, like the propagation of existence and all that. So maybe you've got some stuff to atone for before she agrees to let another precious frog out of her divine custody. You're doing this on purpose, aren't you? Trying to make me feel bad about some ancient history, so I'll be nervous about this encounter? Well, I'll spare you the trouble. I'm already nervous. I don't want to go prostrate myself before a babbling snake goddess, even under ideal circumstances. Karkat, relax. I'm guessing this will just be a sort of formality. That's how things always struck me with her, like getting the blessing from a queen or some huge mythical matriarch before proceeding with some incredibly important event or claiming a cosmic reward. Or maybe you'll just have to kill her again. I don't see what difference it makes. Really, who knows what her real purposes are? They're probably totally unfathomable. Echidna is kind of a big deal denizen. One of the real heavy hitters like that other guy. The really strong one with the ridiculous name. She might even be the biggest deal. She's the mother of all denizens. I mean, not in a literal sense. Like, I really doubt she physically spawned them all. So if she wants you to do something, it's serious. And if you need to do something of massive cosmic significance, like release a frog that contains an entire universe in its belly, then by the same token, it has to go through her. The other denizens are a bunch of petty, grumbling, riddle merchants by comparison. You should feel honored she even wants to see you. How are we even sure she has a frog to release? Who made this frog? The jokers from this session? I thought they spent months doing nothing. I need water, 1 second. It's the same frog Jade made, with Kanye's help, remember? Hell, you may have even been involved in that process too. I don't recall every single detail. But it fell in the forge on Jade's planet back in the old session, and now Jade's planet is here too. Hence, the frog is here too. It's just been, let's say, hibernating inside the planet for a few years. Echidna kept it warm for us until we were ready, which is now. Okay, yeah, I remember now. So the Condess was going to make us do this originally. Why? Because her goal was pretty much the same as ours. To win this game and create a universe. The battle taking place here isn't over whether one will be created, it's over who gets to control it when it's made. Ideally, that should be us, rather than a genocidal fish dictator. In fact, we don't want anyone to control it. Nobody should control a universe. That's what bad guys try to do. We just want it to be a nice place to live, free of any controlling influence that will make life miserable for the people who live there. Having an attitude about the ultimate reward that differs from that in any way was just another thing we fucked up the first time around. So let's just be clear on what we're fighting for here. Got it? ... Yeah, you've made your point. Next item, Earth. When you enter the new universe, you're going to need a planet to live on. Why not just resettle the one you all grew up on? The Condess kind of fucked it up though. In your scratched reality, she spent a few centuries getting it ready for a new troll parade. She flooded the whole thing, so when you get there, you'll need to skip ahead to some time far in the future when the oceans have receded. Should be livable by then. Hell, it may even be a pretty nice place. Here, John, take this. When the battle is over, make sure you give it to Jade. What is it? It's Earth. Oh. Huh. That's intriguing. Remember how 3 years ago you told Terezi we needed your wallet, but you didn't have it? Well, in the time since, we talked about it a lot and figured this was most likely the reason she told you to give it to us. It wasn't a big deal, actually. We spent some time deciphering the code for your wallet. It took a little while and a few lucky guesses on the code digits, but we eventually got there. Then I just used it to upgrade my cooler 8-ball modus. Oh, okay. Sure. Or my much cooler 8-ball modus. You hacked my dad's wallet? Sure, like I said, we had some time on our hands. It is, after all, just a fucking wallet. It's not like it's some legendary item he got on some mythical dad quest. I mean, he did buy the thing somewhere, right? Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I still think it's a pretty special thing. Nope, sorry to be the bearer of bad news. It is literally just a wallet. Anyway, then before I did the scouting work on this session, I rode the meteor through the gate. What? Excuse me. Watched it crash on Earth, then just capture logged the whole damn thing and got out of there. No sweat. Presumably like Grimbark Jade was supposed to if she wasn't asleep. Again, it was a pretty good plan, she just never saw me coming. Sorry, Condi. If you just... I'm sorry. If you want your waterlogged little globe back, you'll have to pry it from John's dead hands now. Yeah. Oof. Those are the important those are the important things to remember, but don't forget the basics. Remember to finish building up your hives as far as they'll go. Then deploy the grist rigs that will disperse your planet's hordes into Skya, giving it nutrients it needs to mature the frog. This is fucking what? This is Scrub. I don't know. This is Scrub 101 stuff, but I guess it bears repeating since most of you have never actually made it this far. When the hordes are empty and Skya is ready, then all you have to do is make sure someone's in position to ignite the forge. Then everyone rendezvous right back here on the lily pad to claim the ultimate reward, which is represented by the hive-shaped thingy with a door on it that leads to the new universe. Any questions before we kick this into action? Yes, I have one. Vriska, what's your part in all this, aside from making all these airtight plans? You've been making it sound like you won't be here when all this happens. Of course I won't. I'll be off doing something much more important than all this. I'm traveling to the furthest ring to kill Lord English. What? Wow. Isn't that going to be, hard? Of course it will be. Are you sure you can even do that, like, by yourself? I mean, John, I'm not an idiot. I won't be diving into this blindly. See, somewhere out there in this incomprehensible casual stew of the furthest ring. Of the furthest ring, there was once a plan that was coming together to defeat him once and for all. It involved a secret weapon, an army, and all sorts of other shenanigans. Yeah, this sounds weirdly familiar. Oh, I'm sure it does, but the point is along the way that plan stalled out. It went nowhere because the party involved disintegrated and lost their way. So someone needs to light a fire under that shit again, and I don't see anyone else stepping forward. How are you going to do that? Let me worry about that. You have your hands full enough as it is. So is that it? Is that the end of this cool strategy jam / fun reunion? That's it. That's the whole situation, my whole plan, and everything you need to do. Good luck, everyone. Terezi, human golf clap. Thanks, Pyrope. Alright, so what now? Kanye, I guess we head to, what was it? Lojade, like right now, since I guess the clock is ticking? Lofath, and yes. Right, we're supposed to go after the Condes really soon too, right? The Condes, I don't know. Fuck it, what's the difference? Those are the same words, condense? Oh, the condense or the Condes, and yes. But not like right away. There are still a couple hours for us to prepare, which we should use to come up with a fighting strategy. Roxy, yeah. I wish Jade and Nana could be awake for this. I really want to talk to them and let them in on all the cool stuff we're about to do. I guess they have to stay asleep for a while, though. Oh well. Hey, Jake. Huh? Want to come make plans with us? We can help you figure out how to deal with Robot Jack and whatever hooligans he is bringing. Oh, yes. Thanks, John. Maybe. Okay. Terezi, hey Dave. We should probably work out a fighting strategy too, since it sounds like we've got a real nasty one to deal with. Yeah, but... What? Dunno, it feels weird to make some battle plans when one of our team members still isn't here. Well, I think we can at least outline the strategy, right? Figure out how we'll approach a villain with his particular strengths and weaknesses, and assume our third member will be ready to fight if we tell him to. Yeah, I'm sure if teen hard-ass Strider shows up with his sword and shades and shit, we say, "Hey dude, look, bad guy, go kill." I'm sure the guy will be more than willing to oblige. It's just, man, what? It feels wrong planning around him like he's a weird hypothetical battle mannequin. From the things I've heard about him from your own personal mouth, that actually sounds like a pretty apt description to me. No, it's more complicated than that, and I'm supposed to be getting ready for this huge deadly battle, which is so much more insane than anything I ever did. Even like 3 years ago, back when I was actually doing adventure shit instead of watching Dane Cook movies. And now be all geared up for that and meet my teen bro for the first time and say, "Oh, there you are, that's cool. Let's fight this random nigh indestructible asshole," and then hug bump or what something. How do I deal with this? I think I could end up getting us all killed, and none of you are taking this seriously. Okay, Strider, I've heard enough. Question mark times 2? I have been more than patient and more than accommodating, but your hangups regarding your ancestor are starting to border on pathetic. Carcat, hey, why don't you can it? Carcat, stay out of this. No, I won't. Not if you're going to start trashing people with respect to their sensitive issues in a manner that is way over the line as far as the basic ground rules of good nature shit talking goes. Ground rules on which I happen to be an expert. It's either make sure your trash mouthed your trash mouth invective is critically constructive or shut up. Who said I wasn't being constructive? God, I cut him all the slack in the world on this, but I can see it isn't doing him, or any of us, any good at all. I can see I'm going to have to expedite matters. Go figures. Leave it all to Briscoe. Once again. What the fuck are you going to do? I told you. I'm expediting matters. Is she just shooting him? Oh, it's a portal. That's kind of cool. Hey, Strider Bros here. What coolness. There you go. Strider meets Strider. He's pretty fucked up, but probably a nice guy once you get to know him. Which, what am I talking about? You ask. Who knows? Feeling awkward yet? Here's an idea. Get the fuck over it. Okay, guys, I'm out of here. I'm not sure I can take another second of this. John, geez, Vriska, are they really that bad? Who, the Striders? No, they're fine. That's not what I was talking about. There's another problem out there in Paradox Space which I can't stand for. Not another moment, in fact. It makes me shudder just thinking about the lingering flaw which has yet to be rectified. Oh, what is it? My ghost is being a fucking loser. And she's gone. And John makes a face. And people sit and enjoy the silence as we zoom out into whatever the fuck is going on here. The clouds and more clouds and cloudy shit. And we're back here with all of the pseudo dead people, which is where I'm going to sit my ass down and take a break. So it's been, I don't know, just over or just under an hour and a half, but we are going to end this because I'm out of scalding leaf fluid, as it is called, and I don't want to make more, but also clearly my voice isn't holding up as well as it could or should. So I don't know. I'm gonna go to sleep or something. I think maybe. I really need to figure that. Anyway, that's not a problem for anyone to hear about. It's not your issue. I hope all of you sleep well, and remember, be productive. Don't get into endless rants about random bullshit when you're just trying to think of a way to end a sentence, or yeah, whatever, fuck it. Good night, and or I guess not good night, but goodbye, and I don't know, enjoy the next part probably, depending on how this all works. Yeah, I put too much thought and effort into this, and I'm wasting even more time as we speak, so be productive, live life, do good things. Yeah, bye.